I think that's going to be some good stuff. I think that, I don't know that everybody's like the guy Kenny from Grit. Where he says he's watched every episode. He's a big fan. I'm like, I don't know how many people are like that truly, but I think there'll be more.
Well, and I think
but it's a bomb you're about to drop.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty interesting,
Right. It's vulnerability.
And I think for people who are really following along, like Kenny and other guys or gals, that they're invested in your story, and they're going to be like, what? Oh my God, what happened now? So I think that's pretty cool. It's a pretty good segue too to go ahead and start talking about the topic. We kind of touched on it last time, and it's going to be in the edit that says ... But what we're talking about today is the fact that you've had a career change.
Yes, career change. I don't know where it's changing into. I like to call it a career transition. Have we been on this podcast this whole time talking? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't realize we had started. I thought we were just...
No, we're good. We're good. What do you think about Senior Verdict?
Who? So I'm in a transition, and I have now, I am officially in the layoff segment of life for the second time in my life. And, it's kind of, I worked for a great company, and unfortunately sometimes in great companies, not every year can be a great year. And sometimes people have to part ways, and there was no bad blood at all.
Man, it's real life.
And I know it's a company that, would definitely hire me back again, and they're taking great care of me, and they believe in the potential that I have, and I've got I've got a couple months to kind of figure out what's next and really pursue my passions.
But completely 100% unexpected, no signs, no wonders, no writing on the wall, just... walk in one day and it's like, oh my, what?
It's kind of like whenever Derek enters the room, it's very unexpected, and you never know if he has pants on because you can't see him.
Yeah.
It's like,
he usually doesn't have any pants on. So
he just has a shirt on, and, we can't see the bottom half.
Real quick, he's got a very cool shirt on today. I took off. I knew that would get rid of him. It's one of our Senior Verde branded shirts. And
oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I knew that would get him out of here.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of abrupt and not expected.
Yeah,
but...
my role was I would receive the purchase orders. So I knew the orders were lower than what we were used to.
Yeah, you were seeing the numbers.
And, what's for the company is actually the first layoff. And they've been in
their history.
And they've been in business for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal, and it's a company that's like family, and so, I worked for a large corporation, that basically, it's actually a really funny story. All right, so a segue into the first time I got laid off, because this is the second time this has happened.
Okay, so I need some background. Layoff. What age was the first one?
I was 24.
And this one's 33.
Yes.
Pretty good gap.
Actually, it's probably 25, 26 right in there.
Still a good gap.
Yeah.
It wasn't like 8 months ago. You've been with this company a while.
Like 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and so this is probably 7 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
So 33 minus 7 is 25.
So in less than a decade.
Bad at math.
In less than a decade, two
layoffs.
Two hits.
So I basically, to be kind of like vulnerable here, I got married at a really young age. That's how I got into comedy. We've kind of been over that a little bit. And I ended up going to work for a large corporation and heavy into the corporate world. And things started really kind of picking up. I moved out of my parents' house,
right?
Got my own place, just bought a brand new car, and had barely moved a couch into my apartment. And a bunch of my buddies were all kind of hanging out and having a good time downtown. And we ended up back at my place and had a few drinks. And one of the guys I worked with was over an extended warranty department, and I was in a limited warranty department. I was in a call center, and he was just getting hammered. He was definitely drinking for a purpose.
Wow.
And drinking his emotions. And he was like, man, stuff's going down on Monday. It's going to suck for a lot of people. don't worry, your name has not come up at all.
Oh, no.
You're totally fine.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, cool. So we go in on Monday, and I have a meeting with my department. So I go get coffee first, kind of like Peter from Office Space, just kind of nonchalant. I'm like, damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Yeah.
You know, and so I just go in, and one of the bigwigs from like out of state at one of the corporate headquarters is there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I sit down right across from him, like from me to you, and I'm just like,
coffee.
It's not whiskey, it's coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let's talk. And the whole department's there. And he's like, we're moving our department to St. Louis. You guys all be a severance package today. Thanks for working for us. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Just instant.
And I was just like, so the next thing I see my buddy walk by. And he's like, dude, I had no idea that apartment was going to. I'm so sorry.
Golly, man.
So that was kind of one of my, that was a funny time. I mean, that's kind of one of those things. If you can't have a sense of humor going through a tough time, you're not going to, I can't survive it.
Right.
So I basically did it the wrong way. I had like maybe 6 weeks to figure out what was next. Had to end up drawing unemployment when the severance ran out. Was having a really hard time finding anything because I didn't have experience. Like I went to college and I got a degree in advertising, marketing, and PR, but I had no experience. So it was hard for me to get hired anywhere with just a degree alone. And so that's why, quick shout out to anyone that wants to be a creative. Get experience now. You don't have to have your degree before you get experience.
You can come here and do some free work.
Yes, come work here.
We got a lot going on.
Get that portfolio going. So basically, I ended up going back to the same company as a temp in a different department and worked there for a little bit. So having gone through that before, the day before, I realized kind of there was something going on.
Yeah, something's going on. Hang on. Edit.
You just got laid off.
Hello.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Now, it's just you and I, podcast world. We're going to have a talk. Let's talk about experience. Experience is something you need if you want to survive in the workplace. Experience kept me from getting a job from a very, very long time. And having been laid off, you do not want to be in that boat. But if you are, you're going to want to have some experience. Because experience is everything. Knowledge is power. And a degree is just a piece of paper. Get the experience. Now, back to our regular scheduled programming. So he just he came back in the room and he was just like, dude, I am so sorry. Like your name never came up in a meeting I was in and had no idea they were going to do this. And so I had like 6 weeks severance at that point because I had not been there that long and didn't have any tenure. And so I went ahead and filed for unemployment because they gave me a lump sum severance at that point.
Nice.
Big
check.
Yeah,
Or a check, not maybe huge,
but eventually that runs out. And especially if you don't have experience, it's hard to really just find something, especially in a town like Tyler that we live in. There's not a lot of creative jobs out there. We don't have a real advertising agency. And if you're in Tyler and you're hearing this, sorry, step up your game.
Yeah.
But we don't have like a real advertising agency that is really putting out quality content. It's just filling their own pockets.
We have one, but it's only for us. We're not for hire yet.
Yeah, but there's things coming.
That's right.
And so, but we're talking 6 years ago when you didn't have that.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of hard to just find something. So I ended up going through a temp agency, and ironically, that temp agency sent me back to that company that laid me off as a temp. So I went from being a salary employee to a temp with no benefits. Same company, different department.
Same job?
No, different department.
Oh, I was like, man, that's terrible.
So I was doing that, and then I kept trying to just find something else, and then that's how I came across the company that I was with.
Yeah.
And so now I have hit the layoff period again. Now I've hit the transition to being, going from a layoff to finding a new career. And it's like, okay, well, these were the things that I wish I had done the last time I got laid off, but I was too lazy.
Right.
I enjoyed just binge watching certain shows every day that I was off and sleeping in till noon and, drinking at night, wasting my time. Where now it's like, the last 2 days, I technically haven't had to go to work, but I've gotten up at 7, 8 o'clock and I've done something. If it was just making my bed, I did something productive.
Well, you were at the gym at 6 this morning.
I was at the gym at 6 this morning.
So, I mean...
And I will say, it did suck for a week. Yeah. I mean, it felt like I was having to go through a transition.
From an emotional standpoint.
From an emotional standpoint, I checked out,
Yeah.
And I gave myself the day that I left, so my last day, I said, you know what? I am going to binge watch Cobra Kai Season 2, which if you have not watched Cobra Kai, I'm going to make a bold statement. You heard it here, folks. The Cobra Kai writing is better than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Wow.
And it's on
That's
YouTube.
Huge. And
it's
I've never
on
seen
YouTube.
Game of Thrones.
But Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence are back. Cobra Kai, YouTube. Check it out.
That's awesome.
So I told myself I was gonna have 24 hours.
I've seen some of those pre-rolls, and it looks awesome, by the way.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You will love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Big
you will
Karate
love
Kid
it.
fan.
Oh, you will love it. Just block off a day to just watch it with me.
I can't do that. I'll do some flights here pretty soon. When we're in the air. I'll check
take
them
me
out.
with you just to be your personal assistant and watch Cobra Kai with
I
you.
have a personal. I can't.
Well,
that would be 2 personal assistants, and that would just be not cool.
Okay, just take me with you then.
Just take you. You can be the photographer. You take pictures. Never mind.
So I'll feed you. You can just sit there on the plane, and I'll just spoon feed you.
It's just way off the reservation here for a second.
I know. Okay, sorry. I'm desperate for my next job.
Okay. So segue to the Cobra Kai. Now we're back.
Yeah. So I gave myself 24 hours. I was like, you know what?
You're over it.
I'm binge watching.
You're productive.
Yeah.
Here we are. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. And,
boom.
And that was Monday night.
This is day 3.
Day 3.
I didn't have to go to work this week. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I can focus on myself now. And that's not what I did last time. I wanted to play it safe and just find a job.
Yeah.
Now I've got tons of endeavors that did I say it right that time?
No.
I have tons of endeavors
there you go.
that I would like to pursue. And it's a shotgun effect.
Yeah.
And and that's something I have picked up on you because you have several different aspects in projects that you want to accomplish.
Completely unrelated, by the way. Other than
absolutely.
I'm the central figure related to all of them.
Absolutely. And that's kind of where I see myself going.
Guitars and chips and salsa. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so I immediately called my agent.
Yeah.
Shout out to Danette Linicom. And I was like, look, I am now 24/7 available to drive to Dallas tomorrow, do a commercial audition if you want. She goes, oh, well, by the way, I've already been submitting you to Los Angeles and Atlanta.
Wow.
And you've already been submitted to the Marvelous Miss Maisel. I just didn't get that. So my agent's out there submitting me for stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now I have support to be able to pursue these other avenues.
Yeah.
And so I've got a couple other leads trying to find like a work from home type job so that I have flexibility.
Yeah.
And, I've had conversations about different digital marketing for freelance.
Mm-hmm.
I've had conversations about, hey, why don't you just start your own agency? Different stuff like that that's going on. And I feel very motivated because this is stuff that's my passion. This is stuff that I feel driven to do. And if I'm able to make money doing all this, then that's icing on the cake.
The money is the byproduct.
But if
chasing the passion is the fire.
But if that money doesn't happen by August, I'm gonna start freaking out.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
That's what everybody tells me.
You know what's funny about timing, though? There was about 2 weeks before the layoff, you were in a slump.
Right.
You came in here. We talked about it. You gathered up some gumption and some energy, and you did some creative stuff and kind of gave you a little flame that flickered. Yeah. And that, had you still been in that low point when you got laid off, I think you would have gone a couple of weeks.
Right.
But that little bump, that timing of that one exchange that we had, I think entered you into a season of, I can be creative again. I can do this again. And then you got slammed with the layoff, and you're like, woe is me. But wait a minute.
Right.
And now you take that traction and you've multiplied it. So that's
right.
That's exciting.
So, and then, we've talked about real estate. So I'm going back, working on my classes again.
Yep.
And I'm going to write, And so my plan right now is this week is just kind of hey, let's brainstorm and let's transition. Let's focus on working out because that seems to be what keeps me centered.
Yeah.
If I lose track of working out and eating right, I fall off the deep end. So it's kind of like, let's make sure that's our foundation and brainstorm all these different ideas and avenues that I want to go. Mm-hmm. Next week, my girlfriend is out of school for the summer. Just a staycation to just enjoy it like it's a vacation.
Very cool.
Because now I have the ability to do that for 1 week.
Yeah.
But after that, like start of June, it's time to like get the ball running. And so I have a planner that I bought today because it's going to be a hard copy planner, but I'm also going to use my phone.
I like it.
And I'm going to basically schedule out my day as if it's my own calendar. Do you own a whiteboard? I love whiteboards. I need one. No.
Go buy one.
Well, I do, but I need I need one to like hang.
You need to go buy. See how old this is.
Well, see, I have some that we use for our improv shows.
You need to go get like a 4x6 if you don't have one.
I think I have one.
Get a 4x6, hang it on your wall.
That's like half of one of these windows.
That is exactly a 3x6 window, so it's a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, I have one of those. Wait, that whole thing is a 3x6?
That's that whole window is 3x6.
Okay, I think I have a
1x1.
I have a 4x5. Or like
whatever,
a 4x4.
Go get a big one.
It goes to my
as
waist.
As big as a television like that or something, right?
Yeah.
And hang it on your wall.
I have cement walls.
And start. Okay, go get an easel. Better yet, take your television, put it in a closet, put the whiteboard where the TV is, and start strategizing.
Yeah.
Start writing on it every day.
Yeah.
Writing different things. Like if I do real estate, I could go here. If I do that, I could go here. If I do this, I could go over here. If I do writing, I'll go over here. And just map it out, flow chart. Well, that may not be your thing. That's my thing. I've got a 4x10 back there.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly walking up to it, standing there, contemplating, writing in this color, writing in that color, doing
and
my thing.
I usually have to do that. Like
in
my office, my last job, I had a dry erase board in there.
I call it #WhiteboardLife.
WhiteboardLife.
WhiteboardLife, baby. Yep. You'll be surprised. You go on the socials and look that up. There's a lot out there on #whiteboard and #WhiteboardLife.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Because it's strategies. It's people that are executing, and you got your day planner, and you got your phone, and you got the whiteboard, and you got all these informational pieces you can touch. And they're different mediums. Like the phone is one thing, the handwritten is another thing, the whiteboard's another thing. And I think you should spend the next little bit strategizing and spreadsheeting. What does it look like? How do I? The money that I am getting, how do I stretch it out to October?
Right.
November.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's the fun part. You still have $2,000 left on that credit card I got to get gone.
And then you're done.
Yeah.
But it was built into your budget, right? Going forward. It was like knock it out.
Right.
So you're going to be partially unemployed.
Right.
And debt free.
Yes.
Like, hello.
So it's like I just have to find little odds and end jobs to make money now, so it's just extra income.
I mean, like, really, like, you didn't get laid off with $30,000 in debt and car payments.
Correct.
Right. So you're in a much better place. So what you started 6 months ago is paying dividends because who came and knocked on your door recently? Murphy came and said, "Oh, by the way, you're laid off. I'm so sorry." And you're like, "Glad my car's paid for. Glad I'm almost out of credit card debt.
Glad my rent's only $500.
Exactly, right? You're not over leveraged. You're almost out of debt. Take the severance that you've got, finish the debt, clean it up, and then add to the pot with some little endeavors here and there and little side jobs and hustles and stuff that you can put together, and we can help with that. I mean, and just stretch it out as far as it'll go, but go ahead and get debt-free and finish that off.
Yeah.
And then you're unemployed with a vision and you're debt free. Dude, come on. That's like the best place to be. Not the unemployed part.
Right.
Except the fact that you have the freedom to now go on every different avenue and taste everything that you want to taste and try everything. And just make sure you're making enough to survive, and that will pay dividends in the long run.
Absolutely. And so the other plan is I'm going to come up here and just sit.
That's fine. Come up here and sit. You can learn. You can come
up
here. You can
ride in the car.
There's going to be a lot of things going on in the next 2 or 3 months that I could see you probably contributing some value to. There have been some very precarious connections that have just kind of aligned themselves. And it's almost like the more I say, and this is visualization and this is speaking things out that you want to be, it's almost like a magnet things are just like coming to me, and they're just little instances, and I'm just like, oh, that's an interesting little thing over there. That has some connective tissue to this over here and this over here. And if those three things aligned, then there's a bottle of wine sitting here with my label on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's that interesting.
Right.
And so I just think that a lot of the stuff that's happening is good. It could all fall apart in a heartbeat. Like that phone call I got a while ago, there was some pretty serious conversation in that, and that could be something that changed the trajectory of my next 3 months. It was that serious. But at the same time, I'm at peace because I know that everything's going to ebb and flow. And I was talking to somebody earlier today about suffering. And we talked a few weeks ago where I had something about conditioning. I've been conditioned through some hardships, conditioned through some hard times and rough patches, that now couple that conditioning with patience. And it's like, oh, that's okay. We'll make it through this hard time. And then we'll come back to it and we'll start over.
Right.
Or we'll start again where we left off 3 months ago or 2 months, right?
Right.
And so you don't lose hope. You just push pause and you move around that situation and you unpush pause and you keep playing the game. And that patience coupled with the conditioning of the life that I've lived, you're younger than I am, so you haven't lived all the life that I've lived. And it was a different upbringing. It was a different teenage year. And it was a different set of 20s and a different set of 30s, right? So that conditioning coupled with patience will really pay dividends in the long time. And I just can't preach, teach, talk about that enough.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I think that you're in a great spot. It sounds like, as far as there's fire. I mean, y'all notice that there's like fire in your words. You're sitting up in your chair. Your shoulders are puffed up. I mean, you're just like you're ready.
I'm feeling pretty driven.
You're
right
ready,
now, and I haven't felt like this in a long time.
That's awesome, man.
And it's like in the same time, I'm scared, but it's a scared feeling that I'm like, all right, cool, it's time for battle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can either like fight the war, or you can turn around and go the other way. And I'm ready to just go into, head first into it.
That makes me extremely excited for two reasons. One, for you, because you've got the wherewithal and the heart, like, to go and tackle it and do it and not be like fearful of the outcome, because the outcome is always going to be fearful. Even if you're in business and you're successful, the next business endeavor could fall apart and crush what you built over the last 20 years.
Well, and that's one thing that's really taught me with improv is I tell people all the time when I'm seeing new improvisers that want to try to do improv or try to do comedy, I'm like, okay, give yourself permission to fail. Yeah. Go out there and do not be scared to fail, because it's going to happen and you're going to learn from it.
Yeah. Well, the second thing is, along the side of the strength that I hear in your voice and all that, is that we will get to experience your ups and downs as we continue this exchange and this podcast movement that we're doing. That will continue to grow, and we'll get to watch it, inside here, hear about it new and fresh every time there's a new episode. And I'll be able to, as a mentor, to speak into those situations and be like, I think you should go this way, or I think you should go that way. And then you'll do one of those, and we'll watch it either win or lose. And that'll be like extremely awesome content, because you'll be like, well, you told me to do the other thing and I did it this way. Or you told me to do it the other way and I did it this way and I won. I'll be like, wow, I was wrong. Cool. Good for you. Right.
Right.
So that is a really interesting place to be in this whole thing. I think there's going to be some really good stuff come out of that.
And if worse comes to shove, I can at least end up like Derek, no matter what.
The wandering nomad realtor extraordinaire.
Yes.
With the Senior Verde shirt on.
Absolutely.
He's only wandering in the background because he wants to be on the podcast, and I haven't invited him yet.
Awesome. Well, so that's my plan, and I'm excited to see where we go with this. So, guys, keep following us on all platforms. And, you got a new shirt on today. Can you give a shout out?
I had this young entrepreneur, a couple years older than you, come up out of south of Houston. And he has this gym, but it's a functional fitness center. Functional fitness.
Yeah.
So it's not CrossFit.
Right. It's what
not
CrossFit
like weight
really
training.
is, yeah.
It's all about box jumps, and he did some other little things on the floor out here earlier. But he's been following along from day one. He's the fan that I said, he was disappointed you weren't here.
I know. I was like, I have a fan?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Kenny Stanford, of Grit Fitness out south of Houston, and just extraordinary young man. And we had a really great time visiting. We had a little business meeting, then we did a little kind of Q&A here moment. And it's going to be cool to watch him and follow along with him. Yeah, there's something on the screen up there. Derek.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I saw it when he first put it up there, but it's just it's a meme of somebody going like this, blah 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 blah. Everybody. So
do you ever wonder if someone is he's probably been working that all day, and you're like, did you sell any houses today?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's been waiting to put that up all day. There's a fucking geese and.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That is me. That's me and Gary V. And
oh my God.
My graphic designer. You got to shoot that real quick, Haas. Show everybody that just for funsies. Yeah. So our graphic designer thought he was being funny one day, and it's me playing the guitar and Gary on his phone.
Sweeting of all on my fingers.
Okay. Anyway, so Grit Fitness. Everybody needs to go check him out. We'll put some posts up here pretty soon about that content, but. I think we're done because my real estate partner in there is acting like a third grader. And anyway, it's fun times. So appreciate you. Appreciate your vulnerability. Looking forward to the next segment that we can bring in and share with everybody. Yeah. I want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think it's going to be a good time. So although it's a kind of a hard place to be, being laid off and the unknown, it's also a free, awesome place to be, to where you have the freedom to choose direct path, go different places, do different things, taste everything there is, and just be like, embrace the world and handle it, dude. It's gonna be great.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited for you, and I'm appreciative of everybody listening. Thank you so very much, and we'll check you guys out here pretty soon. Be sure to follow on all the platforms. We are on every single one that you can imagine. There's probably 16 of them. There's more, but we're not on some of those oddball ones, but it's the same handle, username, whatever you want to call it, SRVERDEX on every single one. And so that's it. Senior Verde, checking out.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to the Everything That I Know podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great one.